Fenelon Crusader here, and welcome to part 2 of the Massey Combine 780 Special. So this one's all about putting this lump back together, putting the pistons and the rods and the new rings in, and putting the sump on and building up to where we are now, just short of putting the head on. So that's pretty much what this one's all around, just putting this piece back together, get it stood upright, ready to take the head. So I hope you enjoy, sit back and we'll catch you later. So this is day 1 then on the combine engine. This is the 4270 which was stripped, well, a long while ago now, a year ago. Yeah, probably a year ago or so. And we've already taken the wear lip out top of the cylinders, so when we fit the new rings it doesn't go up and you know, wedge up against the lip and crack the ring. So that's been done. And I'm going to take these housings off and fit the new corks in there for the oil seal, and then another one there at the bottom. Look, it's got to come off, so we can fit new corks in there, so hopefully seal the oil. And the same on this end, and this time it's a full seal. So we'll put a new one in there, and that sort of give it a good start. And then it's just a case of fitting the pistons and the rings back in. Like I say, I've got all new rings. I'll tip it over in a minute so you can see what was up against, why it wouldn't start. Hopefully that's what it was. I changed it to a couple of different injector pumps. One of known, which was known to be good, so and it wouldn't go. So hopefully it was the rings that was at fault. I'll tip it over so you can see, and then you'll see why I took it to bits and where we're at. I'll just give it a quick wash of paraffin gun. Washed all the bottom out, just to get the dust and the residues. Give it a bit of sporting chance. So yeah. Okay, so I get the rings off and then break them in half, and then the one that's got the square edge we always set to and clean the carbon out the bottom of pistons. Now it would always seem that petrol has more carbon than what the diesels do, but this one has got as you can see, look, it's just quite considerable. But then when you think how big a gap the ring groove was, it's not surprising that it wasn't using a bit of oil and stuff. So I mean, you can see the rubber stuff coming out the groove. Look. Yeah, and this rebuild ain't about, you know, putting all new stuff in and having it perfect. I mean, the machine's only going to work one day a year, so you know, the tolerances in the ring grooves is probably moved a bit to what it should be, but you know, new rings will suffice for this. Yeah, it's a square ring. And the same with the oil ring groove. I've already been around that one, right, but we'll just run around there like that, just skid all them up out. and I'll give them a good wash. To be fair, the oiling grooves are quite good, you know, they're quite shiny, but the compression ones definitely got some muck on them, and you see all what's on the bench. I mean, the bench was clean, and that's what you've got. And it's just a fair bit of stuff, look, isn't there? So I get that done on all the pistons, and then give them a good wash, and then you know, that should be good. I mean, the shells are all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the bottom end of the engine. It's just the fact that it wouldn't start. No doubt it's done several thousand hours, and probably not all good hours. Probably been yeah, treated badly, like with no servicing and so forth in its life. You just don't know what's happened, but we've got the brunt of it now, so we just got to scuff the bores and re-ring it, and like I say, we'll put the head on. The valves have been done in the head, and then we'll just see how far we get with it and see if it will start. If it starts, that's fine. Don't matter about it using a bit of oil, as long as it'll do me 1 day of work, 1 day a year work in the field combining. We've cracked it. We're saving money for something that's more important. Okay, so this is the last piston now, and just clean around this one. And the thing is as well, like with this, for people who don't know, and that is the reason we clean the ring groove out, is so by when you put your new rings in, which will be quite thicker than what these ones are, you've got every possibility that all that gum in the bottom there, when you come to clamp them up, they'll go tight because they can't compress, and then you have problems getting it down the cylinder. So not only when the compressor struck up as normal, I'll just switch that off. So that's the reason, the biggest reason why the grooves needs to be cleaned out, because the rims are likely to nip up into the piston when you squeeze them up to put them in the cylinder. So and obviously they need to be cleaned to work properly, but a lot of people probably think, well, what the hell are you doing that for? Why don't you just put the rings in and get on with it? Like, well, that's the reason why we do that. So if you've got using new pistons, I mean, you just bang your rings in and get on with it, like. But another thing is, when you do this job and all, you have to be a bit careful, because they're bloody razor sharp, and it puts lots of little cuts in the end of your fingers if you ain't careful. But my old hands are getting a bit well toughened up to this sort of work now, so they not so much in this one. Okay, so that one's pretty much clean. I'll put them in the wash bin. Let's see if I can get you somewhere where you can see me. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll just surprised now, you know, see how mucky and dirty the pistons are, but just a bit of paraffin. Again, nothing special, like, you know, it's the way it would have been done years and years and years ago. Clean inside the skirts and around the goodie bin. When I studied up, I oiled all the shells up so that they don't turn to powder, because they get oxidised and then just turn to powder, and then that buggers them up. Whereas if you keep them oiled up, it won't happen. And to be fair, I've been stood out there a year or more now, so it's kept them good, like. So yeah, pretty much all ready to go. Just got to put the new rings on. But as you can see, they're, you know, nice and clean in the ring grooves now. A few bristles on it, like, but they'll come off. Shells are nice and clean. Still in good order. So there I go again. So that's it. We'll just put them on the trolley. A bit of cardboard. Because it's now quarter to 11. Look, so by the time I get cleaned up and done, that'll be another day gone. But they'll be dripping off and drying tonight, and then tomorrow I should be able to just give them a rub over and put my new rings on, and then get plenty of oil, and we'll slap them down the cylinders and get them together tomorrow. So there they are, all nice and clean, rings out, ready for the new rings. Okay, and so day 2, pistons have all been cleaned, all there, look, all ready to go. And this is number 1 piston, and number 1 piston being front of the engine. Okay, so there's my ring sets, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5. So I'll put you on there. So I'll pull number 1 ring out. And on the package it says that the ring's top needs to be at the top. And so you pull number 1 ring out, and it's hasn't got top mark on it, it's just got standard mark on it. But when you look at them, look, they're chamfered right on their edges. And that's to allow for the for your wear groove in the top of the cylinder. Well, I've relieved my wear grooves out of cylinders, but if there's any deviation, that should allow for it. Because if the ring was sharp, when it goes up and hits that lip in the top of the cylinder, it could break the ring. So it's chamfered both sides, so it would appear that these ones, it doesn't matter which way up they go, other than they've got standard written on them. And the ones in the packets that have got standard written on them have also got top written on them. So for me, that will goes to the top. But of course we don't want the top ring just yet, because we need to get this oil ring on first. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want number 4 ring. And there's number 4. So it doesn't matter which way around that one goes in the look of it, because it's got a number on it, but it doesn't have top mark on it. So you get number 3, you've got standard, and it's got top. Whether we can see that on there or not, I don't know. Just getting it to focus in. Just make it out up there, top. So that's okay. Right. So we'll put him in. Now you can buy tools to expand these to put them on, but in all the places I've been rebuilding engines, I never ever come across one, or even get to use one like. So that's your oil control ring. So that's good. Now go in number 3. Got top mark on there, so that's okay, we can do that. Bit fiddly, but you've got to be a little bit steady with them, because you soon bust them. So that's ring number 3. So that's good. Ring number 2. Got standard there and top there. So we'll put him on. I'll clean all the vice down. My vice gets some stick with grinding and drilling and all sorts of them, big hammering. So I'll give her a polish up and a bit of a clean just for this job to try and keep things right. And there's ring number 2. So ring number 1 is the one that's got no markings on, but it has got the standard, so I should put that to the top, same as all the other rings. But like I say, it would appear that it's chamfered both ways, so it's funny that they would put top on all the rings, not the one that really matters. But anyway, so be it. And there's all them rings, and I shall slip the bottom one over there in a minute. Now you can see all the grooves there look all in line. So what we've got to do now is we've got to space them all out. So I'll put number 2 dead opposite number 1. And we'll do when it turns. There we go. And number 3, get my fingers on it. We'll go at 90 degrees to it. And then the old ring is around the side 90 degrees to the others. So they're all staggered round. And that way you ain't got a full line of like compression zipping straight down a line of grooves, if you like. But if they're all staggered, it's got more work to do to get round, to get out. So you know, you can maximise your compression. So just one left to do. I mean, I will check them alignments before I put the ring compressor on. So, ring number 5. Same as the other one, no matter which way up, I suppose. Standards there, so I'll just put that at the top. And this one's got to go over there. If I was doing this in the middle of winter, I would I'd put some in some warm water, and just so as it, and I'll put that opposite side to that one, which is there. Yeah, I put them in warm water. It just supples them up a little bit, because when they're really cold, you expand one of them, they're liable to break, so I'll warm them up. But it's nice and warm in here, so they ain't too bad. I mean, they've gone on all right. So that's piston number 1. I'll crack on and do all 4 pistons, and reset all the rings, oil them up, and then we'll shove them in. So I'll come back when there's more to show. So that's all the rings on. They're on there. I've just got that one to put on, and that's the last one. And just for comparison, before I put the rings in, you see that one, that's my new ring. That's the old ring, look. Just to see, you know, to show you that you might think, well, you want to put liners in. Well, you probably do. You might be out around or whatever. But basically, by shutting that gap up, that should make this engine go. So I will measure that in a minute, but I just thought I'd show you that, just so you can see what was what. No comparison really, is there? Right, catch you on the next. So the gap there with the feeler gauge is 32. I'm talking thousandths of an inch here. So the gap in the old ring can be measured with the vernier, and it's 6 mil. Unbelievable. So I'll just put that in there, look, so you can see. Now, $6 mil. No wonder she didn't want to go. So yeah, good job. Right, so all the ring grooves are set. So I'll give it a liberal coat of oil. Look. So that's pretty much there. We'll just put him in the vise, just a means of holding it still while I'm putting the clamp on, because so keep messing about with oil, your hands get slippery and it's difficult to hold everything. So have a different approach this time, and we'll put two in, and just a little bit iffy. Well, they've gone alright, but what we'll do is we're going to do this one in 2 stages, being as this ain't quite not quite long enough. To catch all the rings, so I'll put that on upside down. I'll show you why I put it on upside down in a minute. Right. The reason is got little dimples there, on there, look, and so on, and was it the right way around? Of course it was, because you're going to put that end in first. No, it wasn't. No, that's right, it was upside down. Yeah, it was upside down. Okay. Let's tighten that up, and then what we're going to do is I can leave that one there so I know where it wants to be for its. I'm just going to squeeze that one in by hand. I'll take the end cap off, big end cap, because we don't want it on yet. So you can go down there. That's all clean. I'll give that a coat of oil in a minute. Oil comes in front of me. There, like that. That's got that. All the slots are clean. So right, let's put you over here. See what we can see. Okay, put a bit of lube in here. All the cylinders honed out, just with the spring set hone, and we did a slow motion, so we tried to do a cross hatch, and it has got small cross hatching in there which will just help with the oil. I mean, I think it's nearly past its prime for all that sort of technical stuff like, but so I'm going to squeeze this one in by hand. It says E in more open than in anger. I could put a Jubilee clip around it, but let's just see if I can get it in by hand. Nearly impossible. And the clamp ain't wide enough to catch all the rings, so I just thought I'd. So the only thing I can do with that is put a Jubilee clip on, just to catch that first ring. Yeah, it's funny that. I'm struggling there a minute. Okay, so that's got the ring clamp on there, and we've been struggling a bit, but we're having to use a short ring clamp on, which means I can only clamp the top set of rings. So the bottom ring I'm clamping up with my oil filter spinner, which seemed to did the trick on the last one, but this is the last one to go in, so I just thought we'd try and film this one and get this one right. So I'll put you down so you can see where I am with a bit of luck anyway. Right, we'll try that. Put a bit of light on the subject. Like that. How does that look? That looks better. Okay. It's a bit fiddly, but we'll get there. So I've just got to unscrew the big end. You think you're ready to do something, and then there's something else crops up. But anyway, let's unscrew the big end. F for front. So I've got to go that way round. Like that. F for front. That's it. All the others have got F to the front, so that's good. So I'll just clean that and I'll put a drop of water on it. Like that. I'll just stick a load of oil in there. Just gives it a good start. Okay, just pop them in there and just get the piston started like that. I'm just going to wipe my hands. There's no trouble with this job. You're forever wiping your blooming hands to keep the oil off, stop picking up grit and so forth. Now, this ain't the best option out there, but it's the best I've got in this yard right at this minute, and I want to get on. So I'll slip that round there like that and just pop it on, and then that'll go around there in a minute. I just have to move the light for a second. It only just fits, so it's a bit fiddly, but there you go, it's on there. So I'll pull that up tight as I can. There you go. So that's the first one in. Like I say, it's not alright. I'll just put my hand around the back to guide the rod. Feels like I might just have to twitch that up. It's sort of a good idea, but they do tend to not quite grip as tight as you would like it to be. But anyway, it's going now. This is a rubber hammer, by the way. How far we've got to go here? We're nearly in. We're not hitting it very hard, but it's so you've seen what I'm doing that side. So I'll move you around the other side, look. See what you can see on this side. Oh yeah, pretty much on it. Okay. Bring the light around this way. How's that? Yeah, you can see it all right. So before I come any further, and this is all clean, because I mean we've already gone and cleaned it, but so I'll just give it a good liberal coating of oil. Stick a bit up the oil hole, just help feed the others, and okay. Move the pulley out of the way. Get my hand in there. So I'll just get hold of the rod. I'll just bump him in. heat is coming through there nicely. I just need to square it up a tad. So what it is now, it's tight that way, so it's just running on this edge. And what I've got to do, I've just got to slide it on the gudgeon pin, just push it back a tad. I'll try that. This comes up. So that's tight on. Wipe the rubbing hands again because I'm just getting all the oil in messed up. So the big end cap. Which is as clean as it can be. Drop of juice. And it does matter which way these go because it'll only fit one way because of the splines that's in the cap. But basically the numbers, which is there, which is number 4 up, and number 4 on this rod is on the bottom. So that's where that's got to go, it's got to correspond to there. So I'll just sit in there. That's all just nicely nipped up. All of them are like that. So I've got 2 bolts in the end of the crank, so I'll just make sure everything's turning alright. Which it is. So yeah, all remains now is for them to be torqued up. Let's keep putting a bit of oil on everything every time I move it, it just helps the job a bit. So that's pretty much the pistons back in. What I'll do now, I'll have a clear up. So I'll have a clear up now and need to tip it on its face on this side, on this end. so I can set to and torque all the big ends and check the main bearings. I've not been touched, but I'll just check and make sure they're tight. And then I'll get it cleaned up, and this bad boy can go on. It's all been cleaned out, ready to go. We'll just sort the gaskets out and we'll get it screwed on, and then she could stand the right way up, get everything cleaned up, and pop head on. So yep, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Okay, so we've torqued the big end caps up and put the locking tabs on, and they're all done now. And the big ends was all £80 a foot. So put the gaskets on and put the corks in. So it's pretty much all ready for the sump. And I will just put a little bit of silicone in each corner, because I always find that they all tend to leak out the corners. So I'll just put a little blob of silicone just in each corner, so it seals the corners up. So yeah, time for the big lift. So I just put the lid on. All bolted down. You see the new gaskets there. Look. I've just got to put the end seal, clutch end brackets with the rope seals in, which is them ones there. And I've got new seals coming tomorrow for there. And so I finished buttoning this up, and I'll put the strainer in. And the strainer plate is there. Look. It's all been washed. I've got a new gasket to put on there. And I say it's been washed, look, and it's so obviously there's some sediment in there, because you can't lift this one out. It's actually like soldered or sweated in, spot welded, whatever, and it's difficult to wash out. Was the other one, like that's in that Perkins engine, it's a separate item that you just trap up with a plate. So like I say, I've washed this one out, but it's proven to be a bit tarry inside and a job to get out, so I'm going to have to give it another soak. But anyway, that's where we're at, and that would be pretty much all for this episode. And we'll see you again next week on fitting the head and flywheel and bits and pieces, and hopefully get a start.